This is an indie game that comes from Ill-Advised Records, a studio that specializes in dark lo-fi hip-hop and ambiance. If you're familiar with IAR, you probably already have this game or are considering getting it. If you are unfamiliar with Ill-Advised Records, I recommend checking out their live stream or starting with the Weather Channel albums. The game is still in development and I am not a professional gamer, so this will not be an in-depth analysis. If y'all want me to play the game from the start and film it, ask in the comments. I've played about 15 hours in 2 separate files, and the game has updated at least 5 times, so be aware things will change. The game is inspired by the Welcome to Night Vale podcast, but if you listen to Dated's The Weather Channel, you will see that there is a perfect correlation with those albums. I recommend using them as playlists or IAR's Dead Mall playlists. I've actually not tried the game music. The gameplay is similar to Pokemon, with a farming RPG overlay and a dungeon crawl dynamic. You can walk right into someone's house and take loot, just like in Pokemon, and the neighborhood watch will not hunt you down and arrest you, unlike real life. To start with, this is a farming RPG. A lot of time will be spent farming early on, and you need the resources from farming to explore the world. Crops can be sold or crafted into food, which is your best way to restore hit points while exploring the mall. Normally, I would find the crops that yielded the most money in the least time and use that to buy more seeds until my farm was rolling in dough. Exponential growth is prevented in this game by ghost tentacles. You need to buy or find cleansing balm to free up space in the farm. At some point, you cannot buy cleansing balm and you find less and less. This encourages you to explore more and farm less, which is a good balance. Once you've earned enough, you can start a ranch. I recommend the giant crows to start with. I heard that you need to milk 10 cows daily, so I haven't tried those. Wheat can be turned into dough using a grinder at the cost of 1 coal per wheat. Coal can only be found in the mines, and this quickly becomes a limiting resource. Once it is gone, you must wait until the resource is replenished before getting more. The same is true for wood, which can be found lying around just about anywhere. Same for mushrooms, copper, stone, and bitter herbs. Basically, once you harvest these things, you need to wait until either Sunday evening, the right moon, or chance respawning when you bathe. This leaves time where you are waiting for resources and waiting for crops. While it does slow down gameplay, this mechanic also encourages exploration and trying new skills. So what do you do while you wait for the new rocks to load in? Welcome to Elderfield rewards grinding and the save quit reload strategy. In the early game you have low hit points and your best weapon is a stone sword. I recommend entering the sewers, fighting the 2 drippers, and heading home, taking a bath whenever your health gets low. When you take a bath, the enemies respawn. In about 20 minutes of this gameplay, I went from level 2 to level 4, which is high enough that a random encounter probably will not kill me. Random chance dynamics allow you to save the game, try something, and then reload it if you do not get the outcome you desire. Mind you, the save can only be done in the bedroom, so there's a time cost to traveling that keeps people from spamming it in the late game. Strategy is worth it early on. If you're bored while you wait for your wheat to grow, you should try fishing. Fishing is a way to earn some cash or get food. It requires worms, which can be found as loot on drippers and some other foes. It can also grow worms on plants in your farm if you want. Leeches, bugs, and maggots are the other baits. If you give the maggot man some mystery meat, he will give you maggots, which lets you fish in the sewers, just like you always wanted. Of course, you might hook on to more than you can handle while fishing. There are plenty of side quests and mysteries. I've yet to fully explore this side of things, but will definitely try in the future. I'm still only level 6, so grinding is my strategy for now. You do not need to eat if you use a bath to restore hit points and MP. Sleep is optional and can give you penalties or boons. Save before you sleep and after a good night's rest. I have not tried going long periods without sleep, so I could be missing some mechanics. Every night the moon will rise and something will happen. There are several moons, from the blood moon that respawns all enemies and mysteries to the harvest moon that restores resources. Sometimes crops will grow double and sometimes nothing will happen at all. As far as I know, it's random. Mining, farming, foraging, and fishing have levels. The more you do, the better you get. At first you'll get 1 coal or 1 wheat per harvest, but soon enough you'll be raking it in, allowing more time to do things besides farm, fish, and mine. If you get murked by an enemy, you respawn with a loss of gold. You do not lose equipment or treasure. This mechanic rewards spending all your cash, delving deep into danger, and getting killed after you find a whole bunch of cool stuff. Of course, you could just warp back home, but sometimes you want to try your luck. Speaking of luck, it plays a huge role in the game, which gives a slight gambling mechanic and makes the game a little addictive. Every battle has a chance that the corpse can be looted. A die is rolled, and if it comes up with a lucky roll, you get cool stuff. The best I've encountered so far was a lucky roll after fighting a treasure goblin. Luck depends on what you wear, various curses or boons, and the favor of the gods. The mall is a dungeon. Make sure to stock up on food before you go. Enemies are somewhat random and get nastier as you get deeper. Call me a noob, but I have yet to be a hungry plant in the mall mines. IAR will be adding more mall stuff with later updates. Speaking of enemies, there's a handy tome in Adrian's house that tells you the stats of every enemy you fought, even if you do not beat them. That's how I found that a hungry plant has 120 HP. It would be helpful if the tome gave information on the number and types of attacks. This game can be relaxing if you want it to be. I enjoy taking these types of games slower, and Elderfield fits the bill. My first time playing, I did a lot of exploring and played very slowly. Unfortunately, an update made me lose my furnace. You need a furnace to make the equipment required to make a new furnace, so I was cooked. Remember that the game is working out bugs and that things will change, including the challenge rating. If you focus on farming and fishing, you can have fun and level up those skills, which is rewarding in itself. The game is challenging. The enemies are nothing to cough at, and you will need skills to get deep into them all. I had to change the game controls when I started from arrow keys to the classic WASD buttons. The ZX buttons were tricky to adjust to, and the early ritual selection is weak. How to get further into the mall is somewhat unclear, and the mall mine needs a better monster selection. There is a lot I have not explored or done, and IAR adds things every few days. Since I started a little over a week ago, they added a traveling merchant and a taxman, which made the farming rewards very different. Welcome to Elderfield is free for now. It is an appropriate game for the Halloween season, and I would recommend it. Just remember that it is still working out bugs and being updated. Be prepared to start a new file if something bugs out. Don't rage quit. Remember, you are a beta tester. The game is unique and has a wonderful haunting vibe. The limiting resources make for a healthy mechanic that prevents speedrunning. I've yet to encounter anything that would make it inappropriate for children. Although if I found a child playing this, I'd be a little weirded out. This is a would play, and it would be worth the price when it does come on the market.